Well, hello, my babies, lovelies, lads, lords, lilies, dudes, sugars, sugar lilies, moon lily, moonflowers. All right, let's go. Let's go. More documents, more documents, more documents. Hey, it's a little safer, a little safer. So we're going to jump in. Man, people are way ahead, but you know what? Hey, slow and steady, right? Slow and steady. So let's take a look. More documents, all right? That's coming up. Yeah. Hey, WSU Kim, strong reactions. Strong reactions. Hey, uh, yeah. I mean, the video's still there. I think I have it unlisted. Maybe I was a little too critical here and there. I don't know, guys. I just again, I'm not gonna belabor it. I just feel too many inconsistencies there, and all that. So enough about that. Enough about that. Let's jump back into the documents, guys. All right. Hope you're having a good day today. It's Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday. Well, for me, it's Monday. Anyway, guys, hope you're having a good day. Let's jump back into the documents. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, what do we got? Okay, so we got evidence transport 56. All right, page 163, 556. Let's go. So we got evidence transportation. Let's see what we're transporting. All right, so here's the narrative. Let's check it out. All right, so the 16th, 3 days after the event, 8:36 a.m., we got Corporal Williford, all right, of ISP, associated with the Moscow Police assisted the MPD by transporting evidence related to an active investigation to the State Forensic Lab. All right. I signed for and received one item from Casey Macy. Oh boy. Oh my God. Oh man, we're already in nope. Casey Macy of the MPD, an item 11 knife sheath in a sealed brown paper bag. I contacted Corporal Turpentine. What kind of turpentine? Oh my God. I got a greased turkey. Okay, I got a greased turkey for Thanksgiving, Bethany. All right, greased turkey. I need some turpentine. All right. Anyway, and informed him of the assignment and asked for his assistance. I transported the evidence south. Okay, that's good. And met with Corporal Turpentine at the Idaho Transportation Department shed in New Meadows. Wow. I maintain custody. What? Oh my God. Department shed. That's where we keep all our knives, right? Right? Right, little G? Along with maybe a mother or two, I don't know. I maintain custody of the evidence from when I received it until I released it to the custody of Corporal Turpentine. I was subsequently informed that the evidence had been successfully transported to the lab. No further action was taken. Okay, so we're transporting the knife sheath. Okay. So we're transporting the knife sheath from Casey Macy of MPD, an item 11 knife sheath, sealed brown paper bag. Okay. And then, okay. Okay, so then he released it then to Corporal Turpentine of the Idaho Transportation Department shed in New Meadows. And that's where he last touched it. Okay. So that was Williford. Okay, that's the end of that. Moving on, 57. Now we got another interview here. Let's see what this is about. Another interview. Okay, who are we interviewing? Summary narrative. Okay, witness 1. We got a white male, 20 years of age. White male, 20 years of age. All right. Okay, let's get into the narrative. Let's see. December 5th. So what? Wow, what is that? So what? 22-ish days, 3 weeks after the unalivings, Idaho State Police detectives conducted an interview with regarding information about the unalivings in Moscow. The interview was conducted at his residence. I do not like that. I never like that. I don't like interviews being conducted at people's residences. I know it's for convenience, and I know it's for other reasons, but Anyway, the interview was conducted at his residence located there in Eagle, Ada County. Detective Sergeant R. Hoxie and I were present for the interview. Okay, he made the following statements about the day leading up to the incident. See audio recording for further information. At approximately 1:30 p.m., okay, he went to blank's apartment, referred to as what? The White Treehouse. I don't know, but they all have nicknames, don't they? Yeah. So anyway, went there 1:30 p.m. He went to this person's apartment. He was there for approximately 5 hours. So from 1:30 p.m. to approximately 6:30 p.m. Towards the end of his stay at M's apartment, most people had left to go to the football game. There were about 20 people still there before he left. He walked back to the blank house at approximately 6:30 to 7 p.m. The frat house. At approximately 12:30 a.m., he went to the Fraternity. He left there around 4:15 a.m. Okay, so he was there for almost 4 hours at the frat. All right. He was back at the house and fell asleep around 5 a.m. Of the victims he knew Xana and Ethan. He had been to Xana's apartment more times than he could recall over the last year or two. Okay, so quite a few. He was at Xana's apartment the weekend before the unalivings, the homicides. Okay, so he was at Xana's house. He was at the King Road house the weekend before the unalivings. The last time he saw Xana and her roommates was at the specifically this person's apartment around 3 to 5 p.m. Okay, on what? On the 12th? Okay, so on the 12th. All right, great. What else? Oh, okay, and that's it. Wow. Well, that's nice. That was some hard-hitting interrogation there. Okay, good job, Newland. Wow. Well, there. So much for that one. That's great. Okay, next we move on. We got more tip interviews. Okay. Supplement 58, 166 out of 556. Let's go. Tip interviews. Oh boy. Let's see what kind of crazy shit comes out of these. Well, it was the Grays, guys. It was the Grays. All right. Okay, so witness 1, we got a male 35 years old. Okay. Witness, white male 35. Witness 2, white male 24. Okay. All right. Witness 3, another white male, 22. Another witness, white male, 23. All right. These are all the tips, I guess, right? Witness 5, we got a white female, 21. Okay. No, I don't see any relationships here yet. Witness 6, another white female who's 20. Another witness 7, a white male who's 18. Wow, okay. All right, 7 here. All right, here's the narrative. Oh boy. Okay, so from November 27th through December 1st. All right. Idaho State Police Detective Sergeant T. Hopkins and I, D. Brown, met individually with 4 employees of who were working the evening of November 12th into the morning of the 13th. Now, employees of what? Let's see. Maybe we can decipher here. So, employees of Mad Greek, employees of the Corner Club. I don't know. Okay, blank worked the shift as a while blank, 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 blank all worked blank shifts. All worked. Why are they blocking out the type of shifts? I don't know. Anyway, blank stated the night was unremarkable and like most busy weekend nights at the bar. So this is, are we at the Corner Club? He did not recall any altercations or patrons who caught his interest. Okay, are we at the Corner Club? Because there was definitely something going on there that day, that night, with Cole being kicked out for, again, harassing females, right? Staring at them staring bizarrely at them, making them uncomfortable, touching girls, getting kicked out of the bar. Blank stated the night was, and then, okay, the next one. The next one stated the night was unremarkable, and, okay, well, we just repeated the exact same thing there. Well, that's great. Blank stated, another one stated the night was unremarkable, and like most busy nights, okay, he did not recall any altercations or patrons who caught his interest. He knew Maddie and Kaylee as regulars at the bar. Okay, we're at the Corner Club. So how comes we're not talking about the person getting kicked out? Well, were they not? Maybe they weren't paying attention. I don't know. That's bizarre. I think they would know. Anyway, yeah, see, more bullshit here. All right, whatever. So blank stated, okay, he knew Maddie and Kaylee as regulars at the bar and served them drinks that evening. Okay, so he was their bartender. Blank said they held normal conversations during the evening. Okay. Blank stated the night was, now another one stated the night was unremarkable and like most weekend nights at the bar. He believed one unknown man was, there you go. He believed one unknown man was thrown out of the bar for intoxication. It was more than that. But was unaware of any altercations or patrons who caught his interest. Again, is this just people of... What is this, guys? Because it was more than one person. Maybe this happens all the time there. Maybe that's it. But it was... Cole was kicked out for more than just being intoxicated. He was kicked out also for groping women, for making them uncomfortable, for staring at them bizarrely. Yeah, for all those, effed up behaviors. It wasn't just because he was drunk. No. No. Anyway, this person knew Maddie, Kaylee, and as regulars at the bar and saw them at the bar that night. Okay, the interviews were memorialized with handwritten notes and added to the case file. Well, isn't that nice? On November 20, the questions should be, wait a minute. There was somebody who was kicked out of the bar that night for doing these things to the females, and that didn't strike your attention at all? Right? That would be the follow-up questions, like, how comes that didn't strike your attention? Or are you saying this happens every weekend? Someone gets all effed up and loaded and likes to, they start harassing females in the bar, like physically and mentally, right? Yeah, I guess that's a normal weekend for Moscow, Idaho, and the Corner Club. Now, I don't know. Maybe so. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So November 28th now, 2 weeks after the unalivings, Detective Sergeant Hopkins and I met with and her roommates, at the blank apartments directly blank of the King Road house. Directly what? South, north, in front of? What? Why can't you put that in? Wow. All right. Blank related allegations of a stalking earlier in the school year involving blank blank. Ultimately, a University of Idaho student at the time, was dismissed from the university and his fraternity. Okay, his fraternity blank. Sigma Chi. Blank was arrested by Moscow Police Department officers on unrelated charges in September of 2022. Okay. Blank was unaware of any actual stalking investigation conducted by law enforcement. Okay, well, how would they know? Okay. I don't know. The Moscow Police Department was familiar with Blank, and he was believed to have been in the Boise area the weekend of November 12, 2022. Aha. Are you sure about that? Are you sure, Moscow Police Department, that this person who was known to you, are you sure they were in the Boise area the weekend of the 12th? Are you sure? Because based on your investigation so far, I don't know if you're actually sure about this based on the questions, based on the cream puffs questions that you've been doing, and absolutely no interrogation of any sort. So are you sure he was in Boise? I don't know, guys. My guess is probably not. My guess is this person, whoever this was, could have easily slipped back into Moscow that weekend, and these Idaho State Police, they'd have no idea. But just my opinion, but who knows? All right, Detective Sergeant Hopkins and I passed on the information concerning this person to FBI Special Agent T. Shirley at the Moscow Police Department. Okay, well, they passed it along to the FBI. All right, I entered the audio recording of the interview with into evidence at the Idaho State Police District 4 office in Jerome. Well, isn't that nice? On December 2nd, 2022, Idaho State Police Detective T. Barrett and I met with lived in Moscow, Idaho. Okay, blank was the register owner of a bearing Idaho license plate number that. The car was parked in front of apartment number Surveillance video footage on November 13th retrieved from captured an SUV type vehicle resembling a leaving the parking lot east of around 4:24 a.m. and an SUV type vehicle resembling a returned to the parking spot around 6:30 a.m. Okay, again, we have other vehicles driving around the area at the exact time that Dylan, in all her lies, remember, said this is when all happened, based on Dylan's lies. That, well, we already know that Moscow Police Department fell for that and was part of the shadiness in concocting the whole bullshit. Right, Detective Payne? So, yeah. So, no, we have other cars driving around at the very time this is going on, supposedly. An SUV, remember, black SUV. Yeah. Driving around. Yeah. Blank identified the car as hers. Oh, she did. Okay, she said she worked overnights at from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. She said she worked the night of November 12th and would have returned home the morning of November 13th between 6:30 and 7 a.m. Okay, all you have to do then is confirm that she was working that night. Okay, that's all you have to do, you have to confirm that she was working. Fine. She said it was possible she parked in the lot east of that morning, but that she usually parked in front of her apartment. She said it was possible she came home during her work shift. I don't like that. She said it was possible she came home. Now, possible or did she? Possible and doing are two different things. She said it was possible she came home during her work shift to check on her cats, but she could not recall. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. Now, granted, this is December 2nd. Okay, so granted, she may not recall. But guys, in a situation, a case like this, you better be effing sure. That, in my opinion. So this, well, it's possible. Maybe. No. Either you were working and came home during part of your shift, or you didn't. Now, Moscow and Idaho State Police, what they need to be doing here is confirming with her employer that she was A, in fact, working that night to begin with, and B, that yes, she clocked out and went home for a little bit to check on her cats. Yet, Moscow, Idaho State Police, did you confirm this? Who knows? I would hope they did. Based on everything I've seen so far, I highly doubt it, but then again, I don't know. But yeah, you would need to confirm this. She knew the King Road house to be a party house. She recalled seeing two men standing outside the closed front door around 5 p.m. on November 12th. Yeah, all right. Blank, she described the men they were on their phones as if they had been turned away from the house. Eesh. Yeah, I don't know. That's a little bit, guys, you can't read into it that much, can you? Like, okay, she sees two guys standing outside the King Road house, right? But then her interpretation of that is as if they had been turned away from the house. How would you know that? You cannot determine that. You can't. Unless you went up to them and talked to them and said, "Hey, did you get turned away from the house?" And they said, "Yeah." There's no way you could know that. I think that's a stupid inference. It's stupid. I entered the audio recording into evidence. Okay, great. Okay, here's another one. December 5th, 2022. Detective S. Knudsen, God, and I met with at his parents' residence in good old Boise, Idaho. And he related the following. Okay, so now we're meeting, right, at a young male's parents' residence. Again, I don't like that. In Boise. Okay, let's see what he has to say. He was a designated driver for fraternity members the weekend of November 12th. Designated driver. Designated driver duties are assigned on a weekly basis to freshman members. They always get the short end of the stick, don't they? Anyway, yeah, sure. Okay, so he was the only designated driver for the frat that day. The only designated driver for the fraternity on the 12th. Okay. He was driving his black what? He was driving his black what? I don't know. They block it out. I don't know why. Members requested rides from him via phone call or text. Fraternity members also communicated with one another over a group chat through the Group Me app. Well, that's a new one I'm hearing about. I haven't never heard about the Group Me app yet. Every other app, that's a new one. All right. So he was a freshman member of, he is from Boise. Blank, and knew of several other members from Boise prior to attending the University of Idaho. Okay. Blank, he drove members and their friends to and from Moscow venues between approximately 1:30 p.m. on November 12th and 2 a.m. on November 13th. Ah, okay. He estimated he estimated he have oh gosh. He estimated to have had at least 50 rides to a variety of fraternity he gave. Oh god, see guys, they can't fucking write. So he estimated to have given at least 50 rides to a variety of frat members and their friends during that time period. He believed to be a former fraternity member who had been kicked out of the frat for prior behaviors unknown to. Okay. Blank had been told by upperclassmen that this person who was kicked out was a low priority when requesting designated driver rides due to his status within the fraternity. Okay. Yeah, I would say like no, I wouldn't say low priority. I would say no priority because he's no longer in the fraternity anymore. So I would say he's not a priority at all, wouldn't you? Forget low priority. He shouldn't be getting rides from anybody related to the frat because he's kicked out. Oh my god. And he's probably fucking demented too. He's probably a wingnut. Well, he got kicked out because of past behaviors. Like fighting, like other bad, reckless things, right? Blank had been told by he had been told by upperclassmen to watch out for him, okay? To watch out for blank blank and blank blank. So he was told to watch out for these two people. These people. Because they are known to be aggressive with the underclassmen. Yeah. Aggressive with the underclassmen. What does that mean? What does that aggressive mean? Like fighting? Like, I don't know, beating people up? I don't know, like maybe using weapons against underclassmen? Maybe because they're psychotic? Maybe because they have unaliving fantasies? Yeah, psychotic frats. Remember, that's a key piece here. Along with Dylan and Bethany, you have two psychotic fraternity members that are in here in this, well, in my theory, right? Along with Dylan, who's a psycho herself. Yeah, and Bethany, yep, who doesn't escape this. Anyway, blank knew blank blank as the former blank of the fraternity. Well, isn't that nice? So he knew this person as the former what of the fraternity? President? Vice president? Something of the fraternity. Oh, that's, wow. And for this person to get kicked out, well, that says a lot. Blank lived in one of the apartments or whatever, I don't know, in the fraternity house. Blank, blank, blank. Oh, God. A bouncer. Okay, so, oh my God. So was a bouncer at the corner club, and blank blank lived in the other two basement private rooms. Blank said blank stayed in his room 90% of the time. He believed blank was banned from the corner club for fighting. Yeah. See, guys, much more viable suspects here, right? Oh, hell yeah. Blank had taken, okay, so he had taken this person to gas stations on several occasions prior to the weekend of the 12th to buy beer. Just what this guy needs. Yeah, and they always bought Keystone Light. Well, there's your problem, okay? You're not drinking the good stuff. You're drinking this. No wonder you're messed up. No, I don't know. That's what I should call this video. Don't drink Keystone Light. You may unalive people. He described both blank and blank as mysterious people. That's not good. He said they normally kept to themselves and did not talk with other people much. Uh-huh. So, are we talking about Loach? Is this where Mr. Loach comes in? I don't know. Possibly. He did not like blank. He did not like this one person, but he did like the other person. Interesting. Interesting here, guys. Boy, are we seeing... Hey, now, I don't like playing in the mud, but are we seeing this... What we're reading right here, does this have any relationship to the 4chan posts? I'm just throwing that out there, guys, because in those 4chan posts, right, there's discussion about frats, psycho frat people, okay? Are these in reference to those people? I don't know. Okay. I don't know. He had heard stories of them fighting other people. He said fraternity members liked blank, but no one liked this other one. No one liked this other one. Well, that says a lot. That says a lot. This one must have been really spooky, right? If no, and look at the other frat members. So for nobody to like this person, he must have been really out there. Just my guess, but this one must have been really out there. Yeah, and scary maybe, right? Yeah. All right, specific to Blank's interactions with blank and blank that weekend, he provided the following information and timeline, all right? At approximately 4 p.m. on November 12th, he picked up blank and blank from this party, and took them to Taco Bell and a gas station. The Tesoro off of, he believed blank and blank bought some Keystone Light beer at the gas station. Okay. So these two people that you probably shouldn't be giving rides to, especially for beer, that's what we're doing. At approximately 4:30 p.m. now, 30 minutes later, blank, okay, so he dropped off these two characters off near blank's residence, this person's residence, in the parking lot east of that. He picked up blank and blank up. He picked them up near blank's this residence and dropped them off at the house on campus. He could not recall a time he was requested to pick them up, and the request was not documented in text messages or his phone's call log. He never saw or heard from blank again that night. Okay, so he never saw or heard from one of them again that night. At approximately 7:30 p.m., he received a text from this other one to pick him up at the house. But he ignored the text. Okay, so he ignored that text. Okay, interesting. At approximately 9:30 p.m., 2 hours later, he received another text from this person to pick him up again. He responded to the request. So he did respond to this one, but he could not remember if he picked up blank at his residence or at the frat house. And then he took him to the corner club. Oh my God. Okay, so the person that he's talking about right now, then I'm assuming, is the person who wasn't banned from the corner club. It was the other freak. Yeah, I'm sorry, it was the other guy who's scary and took him to the corner club. Okay, he never saw blank again that night. Okay, so he drops this person off at the corner club after a little bit after 9:30, and he never sees him again that night. Okay. At approximately 12:30 a.m. on the 13th, he responded to the group chat on the GroupMe app, replying no to a question concerning flooding in a fraternity house bathroom. My God. Oh my God. No, it wasn't me. Okay? It was some other asshole stopping up the toilets. It wasn't me. At approximately 2 a.m. now, 2 a.m., the witching hour. Yeah, the witching hour. That's what we're going to call it. 2 a.m. is the dark hour. 2 a.m. is the witching hour. At approximately 2 a.m., he returned to the frat house, went to the freshman sleeping porch, and hung out with fellow freshmen and sorority girls for the remainder of the night. Okay, that's his. So there's his alibi. So the freshman sleeping porch. Interesting. All right. At approximately 2:10 p.m. Wait a minute. 2:10 p.m. or 2:10 a.m.? Again, Idaho State Police. Learn how to proofread your fucking documents, because 2:10 p.m. the next day is a whole lot different to 2 a.m. earlier. Big difference. At approximately 2:10 a.m., blank posted on the group chat on the GroupMe app saying, "Have we taken tabs on the fellas?" Referring to a head count of frat members. Okay, it is 2:10 p.m. Oh my God. Learn how to fucking write, Idaho. Learn how to effing write. So, 2:10 p.m. later that day, blank posted on the group chat, okay, "Have we taken tabs on the fellas?" Referring to the head count upon news of the unalivings at the King Road house. So, who's posting? Who's that? Who's the head? Who's the head of the fraternity? I don't know. Maybe it's him, or maybe it's somebody else. We're taking a head count. I photographed text messages, contact information, and group chat text strings on blank's phone. I entered the audio recording of the interview with blank along with the aforementioned photographs into evidence in Jerome, District 4 office. Okay, there you go, guys. More tips, more interviews from tips. What do you think about those two fraternity members who were kicked out? What do you think about them two? What do you think about the one who nobody likes? That guy must be, well, in my opinion, he must be really scary and somebody you don't even want to associate with because of his behaviors. Yeah, crazy. And does any of this line up with any of the 4chan without getting too far into the mud? Could we make that connection? I don't know. A lot of the 4chan shit is crazy. It really is. All right, guys, so we're going to leave it right there. We're going to pick it up more later with more documents here. The next one is 59. Gideon. Okay, let's see. We're going to preview what this is. So, blank's interview. We're just going to see what this is. Okay, witness 1, white male, 36. And then we get into the narrative. Okay, guys, we're going to leave it right there. Supplement 58, right? Yep, so I'm sorry. Supplement 59. We're going to leave it right there. We'll pick it up there. We're on page 170 of the massive PDF. All right, I love you all. I hope you have a great day, guys. We're going to get back here in a little bit, and we'll keep going. All right, I love you all. Best guard in the world. And again, my goal is not to create chaos with video. So I don't want us fighting with each other unnecessarily, guys. That's not the whole point of doing this. Okay? We can have strong opinions, but we need to be respectful because, again, we can disagree, but if you're going to start your comments off with bullshit, you immediately they're going to be deleted. Okay? Because again, the garden, we need boundaries. And then, and again, if I seeing idiots on there in the chat messages, Yeah, immediately they're going to be deleted. Because if you can't approach this with respect, okay, then you're fucking gone. That's just the way it is. Anyway, I'll leave it right there. I love you all, babies. All right, we'll talk soon. Bye bye.